Okay, in this episode, I went to Vancouver, home of buildings that look like this. Because Vancouver is where they have all the good shops for buying Mexican food ingredients, for making mole that looks like this. Hey guys, welcome back to the show. I am at Fresh's Best, at Vancouver's premier high-class Mexican food palace. And I've just picked up a bunch of things to put into the adobo I'm making for the chili tomorrow. And I'll just give you a quick little tour of the shop. Like, I'm serious, you can find everything here. Whether you want to make, you know, carne al pastor or enchiladas or anything like that you want. So they've got refried beans, they've got your canned tomatillos, they have all kinds of these things, these chips and stuff. And here's what I came for today: all your dried peppers. Now, yeah, you can use regular peppers or even, what is it, like chili seasoning that you get from the supermarket. But if you really want to do it right, you gotta go for the from Mexico chilies, okay? And then if you like chili sauces, wow, check this out. You've got every kind of chili sauce you could possibly want here. Even stuff like Satan's Ghost and Satan's Rage. So really, the sky's the limit. Whatever kind of variety you want, you could literally have a chili sauce every day of the week for months and months and months and months. So come on down to Fresh's Best if you want the freshest and the bestest of Mexican food items. Okay, just to get some questions out of the way, am I Mexican? No. Am I Hispanic? No. Do I have a family history of any of this kind of stuff? Of course I don't. But I will tell you this, I love food and I cook like a mofo. So during my travels, I had, enchiladas Oaxaqueñas that was to die for a couple years ago. And I ate it and I just thought, oh, damn, I gotta make this for myself. Or at least I gotta get my hands on someone to come back to the Vancouver area. But you know what? As I came back to Vancouver and I started looking, no offense to any of you who have a Mexican restaurant in the area, but my honest opinion, I haven't been able to find anything as good as what I had back then years ago during my travels. So, you know, it's an English saying, if you want something done right, you gotta do it yourself. So I've decided to make my own mole. So through a combination of asking people in real life and doing my research on the internet and eating around, I finally settled on the mole I'm gonna make for you today. Now, it depends who you ask. If you ask 10 different Mexicans, you're probably going to get 10 different opinions on what real mole is. One of the centers of mole in Mexico is the Oaxaca region. And by coincidence, that is the origin of where that dish, enchiladas Oaxaqueñas, the one that I really fell in love with, that's where that came from. So I decided, okay, we'll try to shoot for that flavor since it's the one I know. But from what I've heard, you can travel through 1 million different villages in Mexico and the taste of mole will change from village to village, from family to family. So it stands to reason that if you get the basics right, you can create your own. There's really no way to get this wrong if you've nailed down the basics. Now, I'm sure there are Mexicanos and Mexicanas out there who don't agree with me. And if you don't agree with me, you are more than free to leave a comment. Okay, I would love to learn more about what the right way to do this is. But you know what? The thing we're gonna do today is the thing we're gonna do today. Tell you what, if there's somebody out there who knows a better recipe, a more authentic recipe, one that will bring me more pleasure, why would I say no? Right? So let me know, leave me a message in the comments, and if I'm moved enough, yeah, maybe I'll make another mole video using your recipe. Because why settle for second best? Okay, first of all, I'm gonna do an ingredient introduction for you guys. And I'm not gonna go into detail about the different chiles because I already did that in my other video that was the introduction to Mexican chiles. And just let it be known that the main flavor driver in a mole is going to be the chiles, okay? Each one of these is going to have a special role in the mole. And each one of these is going to bring its own dimension of flavor. And I'm going to be using 5. And just to recap, I'm going to be using the chipotle, the pasilla, the guajillo, the chile de árbol, and the ancho. All right, you don't have to use these particular 5 kinds because literally there are zillions of kinds of chili if you want to get into that rabbit hole. I have settled on these 5. Again, if I feel like it, I might change it, and you are free to change up any ingredients you want, switch out whatever you want. This is not a Mexican chili. This is a Thai chili, and it is very similar to a chili de árbol, and it is really mega hot. So what I'm gonna do is, well, these ones I also would use this for a heat, but these 4 I'm gonna use for their flavor, and I'm gonna throw this into to kick it up a notch. My apologies to Thunderjack, who's coming over later to help me eat the chili, because I know he doesn't handle spice that well. Sorry. He is bringing the ground beef though, so it's gonna be good. And in case you're confused, this is not a chili making video. This is a mole making video, but I'm gonna use this mole in the chili that I'm gonna be making later. Okay, moving right along. I'm just gonna go through this from here to here and just show you what I'm gonna put on it, because while I'm making the thing, maybe it'll be a little hard to show you every single ingredient, and it'll be tedious too. So I'm gonna introduce them, and then I'm just gonna show myself cooking, and you guys can figure it out from there. All right, oregano, no problem, no introduction needed. Cloves, we use this in, you know, American and Canadian cooking as well. This is my own little twist on things. I know this is not a traditional mole ingredient, and to be honest with you, this is an experiment. I like these. I want to see what it does to the mole. So stay tuned and find out at the end whether or not this sucks. I get the strong feeling it's not gonna suck. All right, and what are these? These are Szechuan peppers. They're the kind of peppercorn that makes your mouth all numb, but in a good way. Okay, these are star anise, known in Chinese as bakok, or known in Japanese as hakkaku, and they are 8-pointed little ninja throwing stars of flavor. These will just transform anything. They've got such a strong, beautiful aroma to them. You're gonna love it. Okay, sesame seeds. We've got the Japanese black sesame seeds like you've seen before in my videos. We've got the white sesame seeds. Each one has a different color. These are medjool dates. Come on, open. Yeah, there you go. Really, really high quality, good dates to add some sweetness to the thing, to balance out some of the hotness of the peppers. This is not a banana, but it's not, well, it is a banana, but it's not the conventional banana. It's called a plantain, and a lot of you know what this is already, but maybe you don't. Maybe you're from some place where they don't have these. So this is basically a cooking banana. And yes, I know it's green. It's supposed to be green. That's the way you use them. Okay, we have baker's chocolate, chocolate. Adds a nice flavor, adds a nice little bit of bitterness and some richness to the mole. Ajo, garlic, you guys know what that's about. Prunes, right, to add another flavor dimension and richness and sweetness. Cebolla, which is Spanish for onion. I don't need to explain what that is. Cumin. Now, if you've ever had Indian cooking, you know what cumin is. I went to the trouble of getting the stuff from Mexico because I'm making a Mexican dish. I knew it couldn't hurt, so let's try it with the Mexican cumin. Maybe if I do an Indian dish, I'll try this and see how it turns out. Life is a learning journey. Yay. All right. Try not to freak out. Yes, these are vanilla wafers or vanilla cookies. You might be asking yourself, why the hell is he using vanilla cookies in this? Well, quite simply, when you make a mole, even when you go right to Oaxaca and you look at them make it there, they usually include some kind of sweet baked good, something like a chocolate brioche bread is commonly used. Now, other Mexicans I've seen have used what they call Galletas Marias, which is a vanilla cookie that was invented in London in the 1800s, I believe, but it's been adopted by the Hispanic world. I went to the supermarket today and I couldn't find Galletas Marias, so I settled on Nilla. Whatever, it's close enough, you know? And if it sucks, I'll let you know. But I get the feeling it's not gonna suck. Alright, so these are pepitas. Pepitas are pumpkin seeds, okay? And we have walnuts. Spicy, nutty, sweet, creamy. All these different flavors kind of become a melange in the thing. And that's the idea behind mole. You're gonna fry it all up, you're gonna grind it up, and then you're gonna simmer it down. That's basically what a mole is amounting to. Raisins, basically kind of the same role as this, but another different angle. Tomates. Now I could have chosen any tomato I wanted. I deliberately chose the cherry ones, even though I know in traditional Mexican cooking maybe you don't use the cherry tomatoes, because two reasons. Cherry tomatoes are naturally higher in antioxidants, which I love, and they're also very sweet. Much sweeter than a regular tomato. So, hey, you grind them up, boil them down, how can you lose? And I still want to get that real authentic Mexican-ness to it, so I bought from Mexico tomatillos. Can't go wrong, right? Okay, and finally, for your liquid, good old-fashioned Campbell's beef broth. You can use chicken broth, whatever kind of broth you want, but seeing as later on I'm going to be making a beef chili, why not go with beef broth? I almost forgot. Paprika, right? I don't have to explain why, I'm sure. And maybe I'd have to explain this. Cinnamon. Again, it adds some dimension to it. And except for this, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Oh, this and the vanillas, everything else, believe it or not, is pretty Mexican. If you're not familiar with this type of cooking, you might be thinking, what the hell, how is that possible? Well, you got to understand, traditionally speaking, Mexico is inhabited by the indigenous people, and they had their own mastery of spices and cooking techniques. And along came the Europeans, i.e. the Spanish, and they put their influence in. But over the centuries, you've had lots of different people go through there, and they've all kind of injected their own influence into the thing. And this is why mole has so many ingredients, because as people made it, more ingredients started to show up, and people were very experimental with it and said, okay, let's throw it in, see what happens. Ooh, I like that. And voila, this is one of those things that has to develop naturally. No one ever sat down and invented mole as we know it today. It was really quite a natural evolution. But enough of that, let's get cooking. Okay, now you might think I'm being kind of silly by keeping the whole, bunch of things around while I cook. Why do I have all my ingredients here? Well, there's so many ingredients that I don't want to forget anything. So I don't want to put anything away just in case I'm cooking and then I just go, later on I go, I forgot to put in the blah, blah, blah. All right, so first things first, let's peel that garlic. Okay, like you've seen me do before, or unlike you've seen me do before, we're not gonna finely chop this at all. All we're gonna do is give it a quick removal of the skins and a quick little cracky kind of pounding, and then we'll stick them into the thing. It does not have to be really detailed. And like you have seen me do before, we don't have to use a garlic peeler or anything like that. It just all comes off with a quick pound. There we go, garlic is all peeled and crushed. Okay, next I'm gonna peel this onion and I'm gonna chop it up. Now you will notice that I like to remove the entire onion skin first, and the root, and thus my way of chopping an onion is unlike professionals, and any pros watching me are probably gonna wanna vomit, but that's okay. I'm not doing this to please you. Now my personal opinion is that the outside of an onion is not the cleanest thing in the world. So I don't really like that being in contact with everything else when I'm cooking. I like to take it off. And when you cook, if you like to leave the onion skin on, hey, leave the onion skin on. Do whatever pleases you, but I can't stand onion skins touching because they're not clean. Or if they are clean, they don't seem clean to me, okay? And yeah, this is wasteful, but I get rid of the outside thing too. Sorry, but not sorry. There you go, I'm gonna chop this up. Make sure your knife is good and sharp, because that will mean less crying for you. Because it's a dull knife that breaks all the cells and lets the sulfuric acid out to make you cry. onions. Chop up your tomatillos. Don't worry too much if you don't chop them up too pretty, because we're gonna blend everything at the end anyway. There you go. Tomatillos. Next, you want to start to take out the pits, not the pits, you want to take out the seeds and the veins and the stems off of your chiles, because that's what causes it to be bitter. Oh, that smells so nice. I wish you could smell it through the screen. Go ahead. And you're going to cut these in open. There you go. And just get rid of your seeds. There you go. It'll look like a little Mexican chili fruit roll-up with no seeds inside it. That's what it'll look like on the inside. Quite leathery. The toasting is optional, by the way. If you don't like to toast it, you don't have to toast it. But we're gonna reconstitute it. Anyway, there we go. Beautiful guajillos. If you want to take a look inside of all the seeds, yeah. There you go. You can see the seeds inside there like that. Oh, this one's full of seeds. Check it out. Look at that. It's just chock full of seeds. And they'll just fall right out. Right, you see there? There's a, I guess you'd call that a vein. I would get rid of that. I've heard some people say that they like the seeds. You're free to do that if you want. Now, if you have sensitive skin, you should wear gloves when you do this part. Okay, next up, the pasilla. Pasilla peppers look like this. These are a medium heat pepper, so I'm gonna only put a couple in, because I don't want to blow the head off of my friend Thunderjack when he arrives. If you guys have seen my sashimi video on sashimi safety, then you've met Thunderjack before. Or also in my $100 sushi roll video. He was in that one too. He had the black car, and I changed it to being a teal car. Chile ancho, chile de árbol. I'm not going to use a lot of these. I'm maybe just going to use one. Next, chop up your tomatoes. We're going to add some heat to the pan. And some oil. Whee! Don't be stingy with the oil. We're going to be frying lots today. And the oil is what holds the flavor. First thing we're going to do is fry up our pretend Galletas Marias. You know what this smells like? This smells like mini donuts. You know the kind you get at the fair? You want to just get them kind of, they're starting to brown already. Just want to get them a little bit brown so they get a little bit of that char. Unburnt. Well, I burnt a couple of them. Well, whatever, big deal. Gonna fry up our chiles. Whoa. Yeah, whoa, these are really releasing the smell. This will really make the chilies release their flavors more than if you didn't toast them. Whoa, that's nice. It doesn't take long, okay? You don't want to over toast them, because if you do that, they'll turn bitter. Oh, the smell in here is incredible. Like, it's really appetizing, guys. Oh, I wish you could smell this. So much eating is about actually smelling. So the peppers are going to release their flavor because you heated and you oiled them, and the oil is going to take on the flavor of the peppers, or onions and garlic. Oh, it's paradise in here with this smell, guys. Oh, wow. This is a winner. Oh, yeah. Oh, if this mole ends up tasting half as good as it smells, this is definitely good. It's gonna be a winner. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Yeah, when this is done in Mexico, in Oaxaca, it'll take hours and hours and hours because every ingredient will be fried one by one like this to make it bloom. But you know what? I don't have 60 ingredients and I'm kind of a lazy guy to begin with, so don't worry. This is not going to be 2 hours of me frying things. Okay, next you want to take all of your whole grained spices. I got some powder here like the cinnamon and stuff. I'm not going to put that in yet, but anything that has a shape of its own, I'm going to fry that up next. All my dry stuff. Oh, ho, ho. Smelling like spices in here. And again, when you're doing this, I think the only thing that you have to be careful of is not to burn everything. Because once you burn it, it'll turn bitter. No matter what it is, even if it's like bread. Everybody knows when you burn toast, it's bitter. Same deal here. This looks like it's, oh, and it looks and it smells like it's amazingly okay, it's done. Now I'm gonna put in my wet ingredients. Like my tomates, my tomatillos, my plantains and my dates, chipotle peppers. Whoa. It is seriously paradisiacal. Wow. Smells like Mexico, folks. Oh, I almost forgot. We need almonds in this. I don't have almonds. I'm going to need some almond butter. It's the same thing. It's 100% almonds. And I'm almost out, but it's okay. Better than nothing. Oh, it really smells Mexican in here, guys. Whoa. I'm so happy I decided to do this. I can tell already. I'm going to enjoy this. Yeah, if you want it done right, you got to do it yourself. This is simmering up real nice. You know, I know I said I was going to soak these in hot boiling water, and I know I'm supposed to, but you know what? I'm going to cheat because I'm going to put liquid on it anyway. I'll let it reconstitute while I'm cooking it. It's a shortcut you can take. Yeah, it's not the way you're supposed to do it, but whatever, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna put this back in there. Okay, time for the beef broth. The beef broth is already salty enough, so I don't think I have to add any salt. And if I do need to put salt in, I can always add. You know, if you put too much salt in, it's hard to take it out. And again, don't worry about it being lumpy and big shards of pepper and stuff like that. We are going to blend it. After we blend it, we're going to cook it again. Make sure it's nice and creamy. Chocolate. And now the dry spices. I got some cinnamon, some clove, some oregano, and some paprika in there. Oh, and there's cumin too. If this were Oaxaca, all of these ingredients, before you put them into the liquid, you'd have to separately grind them on a stone by hand. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna use my electric blender. Okay, I'm just gonna cover that and let that kind of simmer for half an hour, and then I'll come back and blend it. It's only been about 15 minutes, but as you can see already, it has become a lot more mole-like. I'm pretty sure I could grind it up right now, but you know what? I want to go the full 9 yards. I'm going to give it another 10 minutes or so. Okay, it's been about another 5 minutes or so. It's looking even more mole-like. While I'm reducing it, I might as well talk about it a little bit. Mole is very versatile. You can make chili, you know, like that beef stew, that Mexican Tex-Mex style beef stew, with mole as one of your major flavorings. You can pour it just on a single tortilla and eat it like that. You can pour it over boiled chicken and it will taste amazing. That's in fact an actual dish. You boil up the chicken with, you know, like onions and garlic and stuff, and then you pour this on it, or you put this on the plate under it, and it's amazing. You pour it on enchiladas. It's yeah, it's full of spice, it's full of flavor, and you know, like obviously I made too much on purpose. So what I'm gonna do is put it in little containers and freeze it in several little batches, so whenever in the future I want a mole for something, I can just pull out a pack from the freezer, defrost it, and away I go, and I don't have to go through this whole rigmarole again. Oh, it smells amazing! Oh, if you love Mexican food, make it yourself. One thing about mole I forgot to mention, it tastes better the next day. So I'm not actually planning to use this until tomorrow, and that's why I'm making it tonight. It has been about half an hour now. You can see it's really nice and rich and boiled down, which is lovely. I just had a taste of it. It is gorgeous. It needs just a little bit more heat though, so I chopped up that Thai chili and I'm gonna dunk it in now. This should bring up the spicy level just to the right amount. So what I'm gonna do now is put it in a stainless steel bowl and then take my steak blender to it and make sure that I puree everything. And then I'm gonna bring it back here and cook it one last time, and then it'll be done. Okay, word to the wise. Do not under any circumstances touch anywhere around your eye after handling hot chili peppers. Oh my gosh, I was in so much pain. I still am. See, my right eye is like red. What a noob mistake. Holy crap, that hurt like crazy. It still does. Oh, it's burning again. I gotta go wash my eyes. Sorry about that. Ah. All right, time to use my handy dandy stick blender to blend that into a smooth pulp. Wait a second, I should be wearing safety goggles for this. I do not want to get chili in my eye again. Just a sec. Boys and girls, remember to be safe. Wear your safety equipment. Holy crap. I'm even squinting even with the safety goggles on. Oh, there's an experience I don't want to go through again. Mexican chilies in my eye. Yeah, anytime you're making something like a spaghetti sauce or a curry or a mole or even beer, it helps to let it sit overnight or for a while. For beer, I mean, it'll be months and years, but in this kind of sauce, sauces love to rest up over a short period of time to let the flavors marry together. In Japanese, we say aji ga shimeru. Okay, I think we're good. Oh, my face is still on fire. Holy crap. Okay, so here we are back at the stovetop, and it's all blended up and just cooking for the second time. Give it one last taste. It's more or less done. It's gorgeous. With fresh spices. That's delicious. All right, so there you have it. That's how you make mole. Okay, we're just eating here. You said something just now. Could you repeat that, please?
Well, I was just like looking at this bowl and I was just like, this is something that I would accept.
No, that's not what you said. I want the exact same words, man. I'll bleep it out. I'll bleep it out.
This is some restaurant quality shit right here.
There you go. It's some restaurant quality right here. Restaurant quality right here at home.
I paid for that.
Yes, I did it.
I paid for
Yes, I did it. Bam.